Good morning. Good morning. I had to play. I'm walking on. I had to try to do something. I mean, try to bring things up around here. Depends on what kind of mood I'm in, right? If Stormy wins her lawsuit, do you think we will pay with $1 bills? That's the text message I got. Are we going to pay her in ones if she wins?
You can probably request that.
I mean, that's the text message. I'm looking down at my text messages. Stormy wins. Do we pay her with dollar bills? Oh my gosh. I can't help it. Look down, 8 o'clock. Stormy weather alert. Really? You know, the president can't get an attorney. President Trump's having a hard time finding an attorney. I mean, come on, somebody represent the guy. He's okay. He's okay. I mean, this happened years ago. Years ago. Trump's having trouble finding an attorney. They say he won't pay his bill. I don't know. I will say this: an attorney will not represent you if you don't listen. Attorneys do not want a client that will not listen, and that is not in the president's wheelhouse. Listening, I guess. All right. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Tell them how they can get in touch with us here. You can get in touch with the show. 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700. You can send a text message during our live show. If you would ever like to be on the show, send us a text message. Tell us you'd like to be on the show. Our producer will contact you, see what we can't do. You want to get in the conversation? Also, you can email me at chief@fetchernews.com. That's chief@fetchernews.com. Follow us on Twitter at FetcherNews and at FYNTV. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, FYNTV Fetcher News. Our guest at 8:30 will be the 9th Congressional District Congressman Doug Collins. He will be here at 9:30. Be our guest. He'll be calling in at 9:30 this morning, so you don't want to miss that. We're going to have a 15-minute interview there. What else do we have going on? I think we will have... I mean, April 9th, I think we got maybe a big announcement coming that way, don't you, Amanda? Maybe soon.
I think so.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
A big announcement for the show, folks. We're working on something. And when you're tuning in, just be prepared on that day where you see something else or we do something else that we're working on. Amanda, try to keep an eye on things today, okay? Because I have a certain flow that I would like for the show to move in, all right? So I guess with all that being said, could you make an effort to pay attention or something, okay?
You got it.
Oh, you got, folks, I can tell where this is going. All right, now, the census, okay? Let's go through some of the we're not going to focus on. We try not to focus on the sensationalized stories of the morning. Seriously, you know, MSNBC had another storm warning at 6 a.m. for an hour. Stormy was top of the list there for an hour, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's not start today without saying today is Zell Miller, former governor, senator, and lieutenant governor of the state of Georgia. Today is Zell Miller's funeral in Atlanta, and I understand that George W. Bush, Jimmy Carter, and Bill Clinton will be at the funeral today in Atlanta for Zell Miller. Everybody kind of got worked up. Just take your time, folks. I ask you to take your time on the tariffs, okay? Stock market back up 700 points yesterday. It works off algorithms and things like that that I'm really not aware of 100% how to explain it. But certain things can shake up a market. Tariffs. Everybody started getting nervous over the steel and the aluminum tariffs. China tariffs on China. These people are coming to the table. That's why you immediately noticed China lashing out, planning to put tariffs on our products. Others lashing out because President Donald Trump has their attention. So just relax, okay? Let the guy, this is something I think he really understands when he's sitting down with Steve Mnuchin, Wilbur Ross, and the rest of them, okay? So just relax. I really think he has a handle on this, and I think you're seeing this play out, and it'll be a positive for our country. So we'll just leave that there. Expelling Russians. Do you have a picture of John Bolton? Okay. Now, everybody gets worked up in MSNBC. Did I say? All right, there's John Bolton. He is the new NSA, National Security Advisor to the President of the United States. H.R. McMaster is gone. And so just pay attention to the timing. And Trump comes out. Now here's what Trump comes out, and the administration expels 100 Russian diplomats, even closed down a consulate in, it was in Seattle, Russian consulate in Seattle. This is pretty big, and but pay attention to the timing that Trump does some things, all right? I think he was waiting for Pompeo, that's moving over to the State Department from the CIA, State Department. He's not been confirmed as Secretary of State yet, and I think he was waiting for McMaster to get out of the way. And it would not shock me that in the last 2 or 3 days, Bolton and Pompeo are not involved in setting the agenda here on expelling these Russians from the country. So I'd just like for you to always pay attention. They say there's two things. Now, I will say this. They say there's two things that Trump will not respond to, and that's Vladimir Putin and Stormy Daniels. That he won't say anything negative about Vladimir Putin, and he is yet to punch back, all right, on Stormy Daniels. Now, not literally, okay, let's be careful here, not literally punch back, but just saying, you know, Trump says when he gets punched, he punches back twice as hard. All right, he will come back twice as hard. There's news cycles out there that are in MSNBC and the others talking about why Trump has not come back on Stormy Daniels. So here is the thing that they're going to do, and I want to clear this up immediately. The news is trying to push this $130,000 payment. I'm going to stay serious for a minute, okay? $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels from Michael Cohen, Trump's attorney, 2 weeks before the election. Now, there's a couple things here. These alleged affairs with the Playboy playmate, centerfold, and the porn star Stormy Daniels. The alleged affair with Stormy Daniels is years ago. I mean, absolutely years ago, what, 2006 or something like that. We're not justifying it or making it okay. It's years ago. But what the media is pushing, all right, is it broke campaign finance law. That's what the media is trying to push. That 2 weeks before an election, all right, that if campaign finance law, that if this would have come out, it could have altered the election. So it did manipulate the election is what they're claiming, all right? When Michael Cohen, Trump's then attorney, paid Stormy Daniels $130,000 to shut up. Now that has to show up. You have to, when you do your campaign finance, and this is what you're hearing on the news, and I want to explain it to you, okay? It's called in kind, all right? They're saying that he has to report it as an in kind, that he gave it to the president, all right? Because it did involve a campaign, because it would have altered the campaign. Now, that being said, in kind means, let's say I own a sign company, you know, ABC Sign Company, and I don't really have any money, but I like you as a candidate, and I say, okay, I'm going to give you these signs, and the value is $500, okay? So here are the signs. We're not going to exchange any money. You as the candidate have to report what's called the in-kind contribution, and you have to put a value on it, and you have to you have to report that on your campaign finance. So what you keep hearing, okay, what you keep hearing, and let me say this to get this wrapped up. What you keep hearing is, oh, the $130,000 paid. This is very legal. This is where the president's in deep. He's got a major legal problem here. No. All right. If Michael Cohen paid that $130,000 out of his own pocket, all right, to Stormy Daniels to be quiet 2 weeks before an election, if somebody fills out, which they've probably already done it, a campaign finance, okay, complaint. And the reason I say that, I've not done it on the federal level, but I've done it on the state level, and they parallel, okay? So if you look at campaign finance and you feel it's not accurate, you file a complaint. Somebody out there files a complaint. Then the campaign finance, the ethics commission or whatever, it gets to them, all right? I did that. The first thing that happens is the person the complaint's filed on gets a letter. Says, hey, there's a complaint on your campaign finance that you may not have filled it out. You can resubmit it, okay, and amend it by this date, and there'll be no penalty, all right? So let's say that did happen. Then Trump could, resubmit the campaign finance. Cohen could say, yeah, all right, I'm giving him 130 grand, and it's over. It's over. The first thing they will do, because I watched it happen myself. All right, now there's an admission of guilt in that, but it's nothing that is going to be a removal from office. Nothing. So then the candidate could say no, and they could go down and they could pay a penalty. They could say, no, I'm not going to amend it, and they could pay a penalty. Trust me, the $130,000 campaign finance issue that the media is trying to make this mountain out of, that Trump may have to resign because of $130,000, is not true. It's not going to happen. I just want to clear that up, okay? It's not going to happen. It's not as big as CNN and MSNBC are making it. So I want to talk about this, and I'll probably talk more about it, but the 2020 census will ask respondents if they are U.S. citizens for the first time since 1950, all right? This is, you can take Stormy down there. People don't need to see. Put the 2020 census graphic up. And this is something that I want to dig into after we get with the congressman, because of the fact this is something that I have brought up. Now, I've brought this subject up over a year ago. I have been screaming somewhat in the wilderness, I feel, by myself in some ways when I discuss hold on, I have the picture here somewhere. Put up the NDRC, okay? All right. Now, this is the NDRC, the National Democrat Redistricting Commission, all right? Which is run, the NDRC is run by Barack Obama and Eric Holder. Do you have that NDRC picture? No, not the map. That's no, not the map. The NDRC, is it up? We got to put a background behind that. I'm sorry. That emblem doesn't have a background. That's my apology, because we got to put that on a background. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that graphic was like that. Go with the state. Go with the other one then. There you go. Okay. The other, this right here, what you're looking at is the NDRC target. Okay. This is on their website. If the state is in dark blue, okay, it's a target. If it's in light blue, it's on the watch list. This is for 2018. We're going to dig into this. This is for 2018. If you will notice, the NDRC, the state of Georgia, is in the black, a very dark blue or black area, okay, on your screen, because it's considered a target state for the NDRC, the National Democratic Redistricting Commission. Put up the two most dangerous men. Put up Holder and President Obama. They are the heads of the NDRC, okay? In Organizing for Action, OFA. Those two guys right there, that's the target. Now, Holder, put up Holder number 3, the tweet. Can you find that one for me? Constitution, this is Eric Holder. Constitution does not require citizenship question. This is purely political. Trump administration is trying to rig the 2020 census to protect gerrymandering by intimidating people. Don't be fooled. Some states will unfairly lose funds and representation. We will sue. Okay? And then he tags, okay, then he tags the NDRC, this is Eric Holder, all right, at Democrat Redistricting, this is their Twitter page, following the Trump administration's decision to include citizenship question on the 2020 census. Eric Holder announced, we will litigate to stop administration from moving forward with this irresponsible decision. All right. Now, it all goes together with the Democrats. It all goes together with the Democrats' campaign theme. Okay. It all goes together with the register to vote rallies. If you didn't figure out now 2020 census, because we're going to thank you, Amanda, I appreciate that. That's the NDRC. Thank you, Amanda. National Democrat Redistricting Committee, and this is getting front page today. I have been giving this front page for how long? A year? You are in a battle. The 2020 census will ask respondents if they are U.S. citizens for the first time since 1950, the Trump administration says. Already, California is suing. Holder, they are litigating. They're jumping all over this. And we will discuss this more as the day goes on. 2020 census, a group of local community activists, labor and legal advocacy leaders sent a letter to the U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross urging him to reject the proposal from the Department of Justice that would change the U.S. sentence. The change adding the question about citizenship status to the upcoming 2020 census. Okay? Now, this will cost representation, is what you heard in Eric Holder's tweet. Okay, I want to do a couple things, because before I get Congressman Doug Collins on, I'm going to play the video of the President of the United States and what his comments were about signing this spending bill 2 days ago. Before the congressman comes on, I want to play that for you. Now, that being said, let me get back to this for just a second. The NDRC 2018 election targets. I showed you the map. Put that up one more time. Georgia is on there. All right? Now, see if you've ever heard this from this show before. This is the 2018 targets, and Georgia is in the dark area. Georgia is a growing state that can gain congressional seats following the census. This puts together everything I have told you for God knows how long. The NDRC knows that Georgia has been importing blue votes as fast as Governor Deal can get them here. Where? From Hollywood? Georgia is a growing state that could gain a congressional seat following the census. We could get another one. Republicans in Georgia have a history of gerrymandering, including mid-cycle redistricting in 2015 to lock in their majorities. Our election targets include the open governor's seat and the state senate. State senate. State senate. Let me remind you of something. State senator, this is not a knock on the guy. State senator, all right, Hunter Hill resigned to run for governor and caused a special election which a Democrat won in that Marietta area where Hunter Hill is from, okay? A Democrat won the seat, and now the Georgia State Senate, although it's still in majority, lost their supermajority status. This is exactly what I have told you all along. They need to get the Senate, they need to get your state house, your state senate, your governor seats, so they can redraw the districts much like Pennsylvania. I'm just telling you, this goes together. I'm going to dig deeper and put all of this together a little later in the show, but don't forget, there's a couple things. Put up the picture. Let me get this. Put up the picture of the March for Our Lives. I just named it March for Our Lives, okay? All right, there's a bunch of kids on the stage. This is Rock the Vote. Rock the Vote. Remember MTV, Rock the Boat? March for Our Lives is Rock the Vote. Did I say boat? I might have said boat. No, this is not Captain and Tennille, Don't Rock the Boat, baby. Rock the Vote. This is March for Our Lives. This is MTV's version of Rock the Vote. Now put up Holder. Just says Holder's tweet. That one says, it just says Holder, okay? And what's it say? No, that's the other one. Is it too many words? That might be me, I'm sorry. The one that just says, Today We March, is that it? Okay. This is Eric Holder, RNDRC. Don't forget, Today We March, Then We Vote. These rallies across the United States were nothing more than voter registration rallies. Voter registration rallies masked as trying to secure our children. Today we march, then we vote. Now put up the other Eric Holder tweet, okay? The one. We must be a movement, not a moment. Remain committed, demand action, hashtag never again. Now put the never again picture up. You see the never again picture? The kids holding their hands in the air like there's some prayer visual. Never again. I'm going to tell you, you are going to hear state representatives, Democrat state representative candidates, Democrat House representative candidates, state House representative candidates, national congressional candidates, senatorial candidates, gubernatorial candidates. You're going to hear more never again like you've never heard before. Never again. Okay, you know the video. I want to play this video before Congressman Doug Collins gets on the show. You know I have that video marked. You see the one to Trump I sent to Trump with Trump? You got it? Let's play that video and then we'll go to commercial, and we should have our congressman on by then.
As a matter of national security, I've signed this omnibus budget bill. There are a lot of things that I'm unhappy about in this bill. There are a lot of things that we shouldn't have had in this bill, but we were, in a sense, forced. If we want to build our military, we were forced to have. There are some things that we should have in the bill. But I say to Congress, I will never sign another bill like this again. I'm not going to do it again. Nobody read it. It's only hours old. Some people don't even know what it is. $1.3 trillion. It's the second largest ever. President Obama signed one that was actually larger, which I'm sure he wasn't too happy with either. But in this case, it became so big because we need to take care of our military. And because the Democrats, who don't believe in that, added things that they wanted in order to get their votes. We have to get rid of the filibuster rule. We have to get rid of the filibuster rule and go to 51 votes in the Senate if we're going to have really sustained, continued success. DACA recipients have been treated extremely badly by the Democrats. We wanted to include DACA. We wanted to have them in this bill. 800,000 people. And actually, it could even be more. And we wanted to include DACA in this bill. The Democrats would not do it. They would not do it. To prevent the omnibus situation from ever happening again, I'm calling on Congress to give me a line item veto for all government spending bills, and the Senate must end. They must end the filibuster rule and get down to work.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a brief break. When we return, we'll have Congressman Doug Collins with us, 9th Congressional District, Congressman from Georgia, with us, and we'll ask him about the president's comments there and the spending bill as soon as we return. Take us to break, Amanda.